Right. Good morning. Welcome to September 17th, 2025 Code Compliance Modification and Imposition of Fine Hearing. My name is Paul Pickett, Code Manager. The magistrate for today's hearing is Christy Godot. With us today are Compliance Director Michelle Pagan, Assistant County Attorney Shannon Fox, Code Secretary Lanika Thomas, and Code Secretary Elaine Rivas. Today's proceedings are being recorded, so we ask you to silence all your cell phones, and if you have to take a call, please step outside. Today is your opportunity to discuss any mitigating factors that prevented you from coming into compliance within the time given at the last magistrate hearing. This meeting is specifically designed to address the challenges you face to come into compliance, not to rehear the case. One important thing to note, if fines are reduced today, you need to pay the reduced amount by the time given, or they will revert back to the original amount. I now introduce Magistrate Godot, who will speak on the process and rules of decorum.
Good morning. My name is Christy Gatto, and I've been appointed by the Board of County Commissioners to serve as an impartial hearing officer this morning. When your case is called, we'll have you come up to the podium. The county will introduce some initial information regarding your case, and then it'll be your opportunity to provide over here to my right, provide any information you may have regarding mitigating circumstances to modify the fine amount in your case. I do ask everybody silence their cell phones, as already been stated. If you have to take a call, go outside, please. I'd also remind everybody to just be respectful. This is a quasi-judicial hearing, and I'm just here to hear the evidence and enter a ruling. Please keep in mind, if your fine is reduced today, there'll be a date given to you that you must pay the reduced amount by. If you don't pay it by that date, the full amount of your fine will be reinstated. So please keep that in mind, because we will talk about a due date for your payment. Finally, I would just like to say that I've done this for many years. The county is usually pretty reasonable with its recommendation. I ask the same of all the respondents to be reasonable with your request for a fine reduction. Also, all the evidence presented today needs to be under oath. So if we could go ahead and swear everybody in today who is going to be making a statement, please stand and raise your right hand and you'll be sworn in.
Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Yes.
Thank you so much. Go ahead.
I would like to see who's present. When you checked in, you were given a piece of paper. Can you tell me, sir, can you tell me your number? 6? 26? Sir, in the rear? Just here for observation? All right. All right. Agenda item number 6. Code Enforcement Officer Plaud. Good morning, sir. Please state your name for the record and your relationship with the property.
My name is John Lay. I'm the president of the Association for Country Park. Lay, L-A-Y-E.
This is item number 6 on today's agenda. The case number is C-2023-03240024. My name is Debbie Plaud, Code Compliance Officer, Palm Beach County. I am the CCO on this case, and I have been previously sworn in. The respondent is Country Park at Boca Raton Homeowners Association, Inc., and the property address is 8175 Country Park Drive in Boca Raton, Florida. This is a request from the respondent to challenge the imposition of fine lien on this case. The respondent was found to be in violation on March 6, 2024, and a magistrate order was issued to come into compliance by March 6, 2025, or a fine of $75 per day would be imposed. As of this date, the respondent has not come into compliance and a daily fine is being assessed.
Anything further from the county?
No, ma'am.
Okay. All right, sir, this is your opportunity to challenge the imposition of the fine of $75 per day. What's going on?
Two things. It's been challenging to find a contractor willing to file the permits and handling for a project that he's not involved with. This shed replaced a previous shed in 2012. We did do a survey and submitted the survey and permit application to the county, and the notes from the inspector were that the proposed location for the shed was outside the property line, and I've replied several times via email and voicemail. The shed is well within the property line. The HOA owns the property more than 100 feet in every direction, so I've kind of been at a standstill. I'm hoping we can just get the shed inspected. It's just been challenging. Yeah, I didn't think it would take very long, but
Does the county know what's going on, or?
I'm not 100% sure, as I just inherited this case. However, when I did look at the permits, it does look like there is a permit in process for the shed. When I spoke to Mr. Lay just right before the hearing, he did mention to me that there were comments from building department regarding, that issue, and I guess he's been trying to get in contact with someone, and I advised him while he was here after the hearing he should go to plan review and try to speak to someone in regards to that.
Okay. All other violations are in compliance?
From my understanding, they are not.
They are not.
No.
I'm not aware of any other violations that haven't been cleared.
Okay, so I have before me the order that was entered, and there were 4 violations. There was a chain link fence that is erected without a valid building permit. There's a concrete slab erected without a valid building permit. Electrical wiring installed on the shed located behind the community pool without a valid building permit. And then the shed.
We did a survey of the fence, and I had an email back from Patrick Prentice. He determined that after reviewing the survey, the fence was not on the area, on land belonging to the country park. It was actually on property belonging to two individual homeowners, and he would follow up with them. So I thought that was done.
Okay.
I got an email from Patrick on June 12th.
Okay. What about the concrete slab?
There's no slab there. There's like these concrete footings in the corners that support the shed, and the shed has a plywood floor. And I can't find any evidence of when there might have been a concrete slab poured. There's no...
And electrical wiring to the shed? You're trying to do that with the permit?
That was done with we had electrical work done. There was an electrical problem. So while the electrician was on site, we had him review all the electric for the pool pumps and filtration and shed are all in one area. He went through, rewired everything with permits, and he even found something out of compliance with the shed. The light fixture that's in the shed is, because there's paint in the shed, has to be a certain style or certain type. So he replaced that, and that was all permitted. So I thought that would have brought everything into compliance with permits.
Well, I would assume, and I don't know for sure, that if you don't have a permit for the shed, it would be hard to have electrical for the shed.
There's a charger. The shed basically stores the community golf cart. So there's a charger and a light.
Okay.
And my guess is that was wired without a permit.
Okay.
I even reached back to the company that installed the shed, and they seems like, well, we don't do permits when we put sheds in. Says we'll use an outside contractor and call them. We don't, it just doesn't seem like a common thing to permit a shed for some reason.
Okay. So based on this original order, the homeowners association was provided a year to bring all this into compliance. So all of this has been going on over the past year?
Yeah, it's been like I said, finding a contractor. I've hired a contractor, and 2, 3 months later, they say, yeah, we can't help you, sorry. I had another contractor filed the permit and then kind of ghosted me, and after 6 months, the permit was canceled. Then we had another company, they were going to file the permit, and they were going to charge a $3,000 fee for the shed permit. And they said, well, we need a value of the project. So I called the company that installed the shed in 2012, and they said that wouldn't do just the permit, but they could bring us a whole new shed installed for $4,000 with permits. So then it's like, well, $3,000 for the permit seemed ridiculous. So we terminated the agreement with that contractor, and now I have this contractor that filed the permit a couple months ago.
Okay.
So it's just been more challenging than I ever imagined.
Okay. What's the response from the county?
The county is willing to keep the file in-house prior to sending it to recording a lien for 6 months.
Okay. So what the county is basically offering to do is to hold this in-house and not record a lien. And what that means, and if I'm wrong, the county will correct me, is that as soon as you can bring it into compliance, then you could seek a fine reduction. And
Yep, I've been working with Patrick
reduce
Brennis,
the
and
amount.
he's been very
And the county would take into consideration this time that you have gone back and forth perhaps with the building or planning division to get this rectified. So that's the
over there now to try
recommendation.
to get that, because I've email and voicemail, I've not gotten a reply.
So,
The new officer is Officer Plod. Patrick Prentice has gone back to animal control, so he's not here any longer. The file that we're looking at, it doesn't show that any of the violations are closed. There was a case note in here from June that showed that he spoke to you or someone about it, but they don't show they're closed, so you're going to have to work with Officer Plod now to see if any of those other violations can be closed out. But right now, all of the violations show as open according to the file.
okay. So I think the county's recommendation is reasonable. I think while you're here today, sometimes it's better to talk with someone in person, get their name and information, and find out what's going on. Because if it's just a holdup with the survey and the comments in, and you're already in the permitting process, it shouldn't take more than 6 months.
No.
Okay.
Like I said, it's been surprisingly challenging.
Yes, yeah. So what we'll do is, for this case, we'll go ahead and enter an order that the county will hold this file in-house and not record a lien for a period of 6 months, and that will give you more time to bring it in compliance and then ask for a reduction. Please stay in contact with your code officer just to make sure that you're in compliance within that 6 months.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so
That's it.
Next order of business is the results of permit violations. John?
I was at the county's office this morning, and not much to report. There's one outstanding permit for the shed, and they basically said, have 6 more months to get it cleared up. It was on hold with the county because they were looking at our survey and saying that the shed was falling outside of the property line, which made no sense. So I met with the supervisor with the building department. I learned the building department and code enforcement they don't communicate.
Well, yeah.
Yeah,
Hey,
so
that explains a lot.
it does. So I showed her a photo, and she says, "Okay, send me the site plans. Upload the site plan showing the shed and the property lines, and we'll get this cleared up." So slow, it's moving along, but that's no results, nothing to really report.
Thank you, John.
Awesome.
Yeah, thank you. So at this time, we'll open up the floor to the homeowners. If there's any homeowners who have any questions, comments on the agenda items, please unmute yourself. Go ahead, Michael.
It was mentioned that there were permit violations that were reviewed. Is that with the county?
Yes.
And there's a dollar amount involved with that, I assume, because I think that accrues. If it's not, can you share that? Excuse me. Can you share that with us, please?
Yeah, the county is, they're not applying any penalties. There will be a cost for the permit, which is based on the value of the project. And we don't have the figure yet.
So for the record and the minutes, there's no dollar amount in fines.
Correct. There were three violations. There were 4 violations, and 3 of them have been closed. And the county basically they keep extending it. We just get a notice that I need to appear on this date to review the fines. And then they'll send them email. You've been rescheduled for 2 months later, and just been in communication with the code enforcement officer, and
so there are no fines. I just want to have a clear understanding when I go check.
right. What they said the penalties are being held in-house, and
what's the cost of that?
there's been no cost yet.
Do we know what those fines are?
Originally, it was $75 a day after a certain period of time, and they've kept extending that time. And today they extended it 6 more months.
I'm not following this.
Basically, the county keeps extending the time that we have to comply. So there have not been any fines levied yet because we keep doing everything that we're supposed to do.
Oh, I see.
Yes.
So there's absolutely no fines.
There's absolutely no fines at this time because we have been corresponding with them. John has met with them. He's gone to, tried to go to whatever meetings that have been scheduled and postponed and things like that. Yes.
So the fines are not accruing with any dollar amount.
Correct.
So if the fines are not complied with, how do they determine how much is owed?
The original agreement was there was 12 months to clear the violations, and after the 12 months, the fine would be $75 per day. And
sounds like that would be a lot of money that would be sitting there if we didn't comply.
Right.
But we are working with the county to straighten this out.
Yeah.
Right.
They are giving us
They
the time
extended from March to June, to September, and today they added 6 months.
So the county would have a dollar amount, right?
They haven't started. There's no dollar amount yet. They keep extending the deadline. Originally, the fines were to start after 1 year, and they keep extending that deadline.
No, I'll have to touch base with the county because I'm not understanding. The county's got to be accruing this somewhere, because if the fines are not complied with, the county's going to come after somebody to pay those fines.
Right. Originally they said after 1 year there'll be a $75 per day fine if not done by this date. And then that date came and they said, okay, we're going to give you 60 days. And Said, okay. And then before that 60-day came out, they sent a notice for another 2 months. And I met with the county today and they said, how are we doing? I said, well, these are cleared up. This one is at this stage, whatever. And they said, okay, so we're gonna hold this for 6 more months. And that's where,
John, wasn't it
Well,
that
well,
there was a
John,
review
just answer
period?
this. Did they charge us for anything that we've already cleared up?
no,
Because we cleared it up.
Right.
correct.
Okay, so, and they're doing the same thing with the shed. They're
Right.
giving us additional time to fix the issue.
Right, like I
They haven't charged us anything yet, and as long as we clear it up within a reasonable amount of time that they're offering to us,
right.
there will be no charges.
Correct.
The
Which in this
issue with
case,
the
which in
shed
this case
was,
is 6 months. They're giving us another 6 months. Is that right?
correct. As of today, they gave us another 6 months. And the issue was, even though we provided a survey, the building department person replied on a note saying that the shed appears to be installed outside of the property line. So it's like, well, it's not outside the property line.
So,
So there's,
sorry. Hey, get it out.
And these
so
are like 20-year-old structures, right?
it was 2012.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
So clearly the shed is on common area, HOA property, which there's more than 100 feet in every direction. So she said, can you send me a site plan, county site plan for the community, marking where the shed is and where the property line is surrounding. So we did that today. So it really would have been cleared up if the county didn't feel that the shed is outside of our property line. There was an electrical violation that was cleared up a while back, and the county just never closed the permit. So when I was there, so well, what's up with this? And they said, let me look. I says, well, it's been inspected and passed. Hang on. She makes a call. Says, okay, it's closed. We're done. So yeah, they gave us 6 more months today.
John,
Yeah.
I would have to say that you're being disingenuous at best. The fines, if anyone goes on the website, are still being accrued. They may not be charged. They have not liened us yet. And they extended it because you went to get it, the fines reduced, but you can't reduce them until you close the permits. So it's not, you're being less than truthful by saying there are no fines. Last I checked, we had accrued fines of over 14 grand. They haven't been imposed yet, but they are showing there.
Well, the county has no intentions of collecting fines from us.
Are you speaking for the county or is that your opinion?
Evidently.
I spoke with the.
No, are you speaking for the
enforcement officer
county?
today.
Do you know that for a fact that that's how the county operates?
That's the conversation I had with the code enforcement officer this morning.
And do you have that in writing from them?
No.
Then you are coming to a conclusion that's not a legal conclusion. And again, I'll say it's disingenuous at best.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with that.
Okay, does anyone else have any other questions on the agenda items? Okay, board, does not seem like any other homeowners have any questions or comments on the agenda items. Do we
I'll
have
make a motion. I'll make a motion to close the meeting.
7:35? Perfect. Thank you. Have a good night.
Thank
Good night.
you.
Good night.
Night.